Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. So if you're somebody who's all like, yeah, Descendants 5 Book Wonderland is coming out this summer, but summer 2026 seems like it's never going to happen for any of us. We only have 104 days of summer vacation, just as it said in the lyrics of the Phineas and Ferb theme song. Don't ever ask me to sing that, because it's extremely difficult to try to find somebody who's crazy enough to construct a roller coaster in your backyard. I know I've been promising you guys that I was going to construct a roller coaster in my backyard. I just haven't gotten around to doing that, haven't proceeded with the construction plans because I can never seem to find a contractor. By the way, guys, if you have not subscribed here to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to do that, because if you are a fan of Descendants and Zombies, if you haven't already figured it out by now, I am just as excited as each and every one of you. We have been waiting a long time for Descendants 5 Book Wonderland's premiere, because it's truly going to be something special. It has obviously held a very special place in our hearts, and if you haven't heard the rumors, there's an official teaser expected to be dropped by Disney Plus as of February 9th, 2026. Which is only 2 weeks away from now. Oh my God. But it has not been confirmed. That's something to take into consideration and never ever forget. It has not been confirmed. And Disney has always and forever loved keeping us in the dark, to keep us guessing, to keep us holding on to a wish. And I think we've wished for far long enough now. And as fans of Descendants and Zombies who have forever remained loyal to what we've loved and believed in for forever, because Descendants and Zombies has been a part of our life for what feels like forever, many of whom I've become the best of friends with, because I've considered you guys my best friends for forever. And I feel as if, as I represent you as your voice of Descendants and Zombies, you guys have deserved way better reviews of Descendants and Zombies for a very long time, and have been deserving of your questions being answered when it comes to Descendants and Zombies. Because, I mean, who out there at 7 years old knows what to expect for Descendants and Zombies? Nobody really knows what's coming in the future, and that's what makes the future so scary. So I think Disney could be more understanding to its fandoms of Descendants and Zombies and give us the answers to the questions we've been very excited to hear the answers to, and we've been very deserving of it. We've been very patient, and I think we deserve answers to the questions when it comes to Descendants and Zombies. And if you're somebody who feels the same way, don't forget to give me a like, because your likes and subscriptions go a long way on this YouTube channel, and I would love for you to subscribe here. I would love for you to be a part of these conversations I've had with thousands of people. I've not only had the honor to have these conversations with thousands of people, nor have I had the opportunity to construct a roller coaster in my backyard or had the opportunity to be in the Zombies franchise, but I've had the honor of meeting thousands of people who too have felt inspired by their favorite characters, and all these emphatic moments that have made us a part of something special. Because we really got the chance to be a part of something special because of what Descendants and Zombies taught us. The value of friendship, the value of love, and just how everybody deserves to find acceptance in a lifetime and really deserves a second chance. Because I think everybody deserves a second chance, because let's be honest, we're all far from perfect, and we have all made our fair share of mistakes, and I think that Descendants and Zombies has really allowed us to put that into perspective and really reach a mutual understanding about what we want to get the most out of life for. I had the honor of profiling girls like Kylie Cantrell, Meg Donnelly, Freya Sky for forever, and for the first time in my life I felt as if I was a part of something special, because I got to share in it and experience it with each and every one of you, through you guys having made this your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time. I have no idea why. I just wanted to create relatable content for every fan of Descendants and Zombies and give you guys somebody who actually talks to you about Descendants and Zombies, rather than just throw together a 7 to 12 minute long AI video, because who really wants to watch AI footage of Descendants and Zombies? It's just pre-shot footage from the previous Zombies and Descendants movies. Nobody really has had any time in their lives for that kind of stuff. You guys have wanted questions or analogies and breakdowns or reviews of your favorite characters, which include explanations behind the origins of the characters, the appreciation for the characters, to give you a greater appreciation to take away from Descendants and Zombies every single time that you watch it. And who out there feels the same way that I do? Each time that you watch the Descendants franchise, as an example, you feel like you're watching it for the first time ever. If I haven't watched Descendants and Zombies a million times, I've watched it 1,000 times, and I've loved it every single time I've ever had the opportunity to. I thought it was really beautiful how they changed it up from Oradon Prep to Merlin Academy. It really made me feel like I was watching the original Sword in the Stone classic many times, because I always had an appreciation for Merlin and his love for magic and wanting to teach people the value and just how precious magic was. It was really cool how they changed it up from Oradon Prep to Merlin Academy, and Red and Chloe became the best of friends. There were so many things to take away from that I found time in appreciating. And then from out of nowhere, here comes Freya Sky with all these wonderful things happening for her. And I remember that girl being so appreciative of getting the opportunity to share in all of her lifetime experiences with each and every one of you, because they were really life-changing for Freya, because everything seemed to happen for Freya overnight, just as fast as you could snap your fingers. I mean, just think about being in Freya Sky's position and living her lifestyle, being up at 4:30 every morning, having to do PR for Zombies or to promote your vinyl or to promote your record or your single, and you got to be up at 4:30 in the morning. You got to have your breakfast at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're all crazy trying to do your hair and stuff, and you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, I would love to live this lifestyle, but think about it like this. You're in front of 20,000 people every night of your life for the Zombies Descendants Worlds Collide Tour. Many of us would go out of our minds. I would probably be the only guy in history to love the opportunity to perform in front of 20,000 people because I've appreciated the energetic atmosphere and how you guys really bring things like the Descendants and Zombies Worlds Collide Tour to life. You guys give this so meaning and so much inspiration, and many people who review this kind of stuff on YouTube never really give you that greater appreciation for what you've meant to these franchises because you've meant a lot. You've really meant everything to this franchise, and that's something I've never ever wanted any of you to forget, and I've always and forever wanted you to hold on to that and believe in that, because what it comes down to is not what a critic thinks the release window of Descendants and Zombies should suggest or the predictions they make. What it comes down to is how much you guys have believed in these franchises and you forever and always felt as if you were a part of something special. I go all the way back to the premiere of Cinderella, which happened on February 15th, 1950, and we're coming up on the 75th anniversary of Cinderella this year. She went on to become certainly one of the most revered and iconic and certainly one of the most celebrated Disney princesses of all time and one of my favorites. It's either been a toss-up between Rapunzel from Tangled or Cinderella from the original Cinderella classic, which eventually became Cinderella 2, Dreams Come True, and Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time. So for those of you wondering where the idea of time travel was incorporated into Descendants and where they got that from, it came from Cinderella, because by Cinderella 3, they were going back in time. The fairy godmother offered Cinderella a chance to go back in time, fix some of her past mistakes, and she understood the value of life and just how precious time is. And the reason for that is we never seem to know how much time we have, and we often wonder. We get caught up in conversations all the time with our best friends over the phone every night till 3 a.m., wondering what we would do with more time if we had it. The unfortunate thing about life is we're never given back the time that we have, or we never have an opportunity to go back and relive the moments that have meant so much to each and every one of our lives. If you ask me, I would love to go back in time just to tell people more often that I love them and to let them know how much I appreciate them, or to go back in time and fix some of my mistakes, because I've been brutally honest with each and every one of you. And I mean, let's be honest, we're all far from perfect. It's not just Jonathan Clarke having made his fair share of mistakes. It's everybody. And I think we've learned to appreciate that through the stories and the life lessons that were taught to us in the Descendants of Zombies scripts, especially Zombies, because everybody in Zombies was trying to achieve acceptance, even with how difficult it was to achieve acceptance on times in a world that is often very cruel, because there are more cruel people in this world than ever given credit for. But in saying that, even with how many cruel people we may encounter and how they make us feel and things like that, there are just as many kind people. And I think the number of kind people that are never given enough credit out there, that show kindness every day to people they love and they certainly appreciate through friendships, are never given enough credit. And I think that because they outnumber it, they can outshine any amount of cruelty that life presents us with on times and really outride it into the sunset. And I really just wanted to be a part of something special with each and every one of you, and Descendants of Zombies gave me that opportunity. I not only had the honor of talking about Descendants of Zombies, I had the honor of meeting so many incredible people who have drawn just as much inspiration, if not more, from Descendants of Zombies than I ever did. I just became a part of it because I thought it was going to be something special. It had so many critical elements, it had so many valuable life lessons it was teaching people, and people know more than they ever have because they felt inspired by this story. It was a beautiful story, mind you. I always thought it was a beautiful story, and I thought it deserved appreciation. I thought that Dove Cameron's version of the story was very different from Red's, but I thought Red had a very unique take on how her mother had kept the rabbit hole closed for years. I myself have always wanted to take myself up in the opportunity to drive a side-by-side through a rabbit hole that had been closed for years, crash it through that thing, and go all crazy and stuff because it looked so fun. The only ever time that I was ever in a side-by-side was with my friends one summer, and we went up on top of this hill, and I thought I was going to die because the side-by-side was going really fast. And sometimes people who buy these new side-by-sides love to show off, and I think being young sometimes gets the better of us, kind of catches up with us. Until it eventually catches up with us, we don't really appreciate the time that we have, and we do a lot of crazy things, but that's what creates so many wonderful memories. But I've always wanted to take myself up the opportunity to drive a side-by-side through a rabbit hole. It looks quite fun. I've always wanted to dance on stage with a bunch of zombies, like I expressed my desire and passion to want to do. I felt very passionate about that kind of thing. And you're probably saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, can you do the Michael Jackson moonwalk? Can you do those freaky dance moves that they do in the zombies movies all the time? I've never really tried, but I'd love to take myself up on the opportunity to go through those extensive boot camps because I've always been in the gym lifting weights and trying to get back to where I used to be when I was a teenager because I always used to be lifting weights and stuff, trying to keep up with the best of them. But I think there is only ever one you in this lifetime. So because there's only ever one you should represent yourself the way that you want to represent yourself for, which is often why I've appreciated how Kylie Cantrell has chosen emphatically to live her life openly and freely. I've had a greater appreciation taken away from people who have chosen to live their life openly and freely because you only ever have one life to live. And your decisions are never a reflection on you as a person. You really got to understand a person for who they are before you ever make a judgment on who that person actually is. And when you understand who Kylie Cantrell is and you understand who her fans are and why they love her so much, it doesn't take a degree in rocket science to really gain a greater appreciation for the fans of Kylie Cantrell and why they feel the way they do about her, or why people feel the way they do about Freya Skye. You guys are obviously very passionate about Freya Skye. You're watching this video because you're fans of Kylie and Freya. There are millions of you out there. There are over 500,000 people subscribed to Kylie on YouTube. There are over 750,000 people subscribed to Freya on YouTube who could be watching my videos because I am a resonated voice to Descendants of Zombies. I am a very relatable voice and I'm a consistent icon in this industry. And the thing is, I've achieved so much severity and recognition through my videos on Descendants of Zombies. And to be honest with each and every one of you, I get to share my story with you because you guys saw something special in these videos. And that meant so much to me as a YouTube creator. That gives me so much incentive to keep on creating for so many wonderful people because I've faced my fair share of criticism with my opinions I've shared with everybody on Descendants of Zombies, but all I've ever wanted to do is do something that no other YouTube creator has ever done before in their lifetime, and that's give this franchise a chance. Because when you do give this franchise a chance, it makes people like Kylie Cantrell and Freya Skye feel passionate. It makes them feel stronger in their ability. And I think that when they're doubting themselves in TikTok videos and YouTube videos they're uploading all the time for us to watch as fans, I think that something can be done about that. We can contribute more to the Descendants of Zombies franchise. We can really come together and offer something special to every fan of Descendants of Zombies to give them even more of a reason to believe in these franchises perhaps more than ever before. I have had the time of my life being a part of these franchises and having the honor of sharing with you my stories about how I became a fan of it. How girls used to show up my door every year on Halloween saying, hey, Jonathan Clarke, guess who I am? Many of you would be Bridget, many of you would be Red, many of you would be Chloe Charming, who I've become very fond of because we're a representation of the daughter of Prince Charming and Cinderella. Nobody does it as good as what Malia Baker has done, and nobody plays a stronger character than what Kylie Cantrell does. You know, always in the gym, lifting weights heavier than what she is. It's really a consistent effort to bring something like Descendants of Zombies to life, and Kylie Cantrell has really become the embodiment of this character. And, you know, more times than often enough, I really wish she would have learned more from her character and taken something away from that character, because while Kylie Cantrell is a very emotional person, the character Red really never cared what anybody thought of her. All she ever wanted to do was paint the town red, and she had the opportunity to paint Wonderland red by the end of the first movie, and now we're faced with the consequences of time travel. Nobody knows what these consequences are going to detail, but I have never felt more excited to be a part of these conversations and to share in them with so many wonderful fans of Descendants of Zombies who have forever taken something special away from these franchises, because I don't care who you are. Everybody has a story or a fond memory they've shared with people time and time again, that you share with your friends, that you probably stay up till 3 a.m. every morning on the phone talking about your predictions about Descendants of Zombies. You ran through every single one of them. You've probably had slumber parties watching the entire Descendants franchise from back to back to back to back to back, and I know that's a lot of Bugs Bunny and back to back to back to back to back, hey Doc, you know, bite on a carrot kind of thing. But, you know, these are moments that I truly believe are never ever meant to last for forever. So because they're never ever meant to last for forever, they should be appreciated. And I think more people could take away a greater appreciation for Descendants of Zombies every single time they may have ever watched it. One of my favorite characters of all time who should be shown a greater appreciation is Ruby Rose Turner. I will forever advocate for Ruby Rose Turner to have a role in Descendants. I will forever advocate and miss Ruby Rose Turner and want Ruby Rose Turner to come back into this franchise, because even with how her story was believed to have been told and completed, I have been one guy who has forever and always held on to the believement that Ruby Rose Turner could see a reemergence in this franchise and still offer something special to even present-day Wonderland. I will voluntarily offer myself up to go back in time just to bring Ruby Rose Turner back to have involvement in present-day Wonderland. Now, I know she may have been a younger version of the Queen of Hearts, but with how annoying and how fat and chubby and annoying of a voice the Queen of Hearts had, Ruby Rose Turner was a beautiful representation of that character. She was extremely beautiful. Ruby Rose Turner is just this genuinely sweet girl who deserves more of a chance. And I think that she gave us a greater representation of the young Queen of Hearts and a real, greater appreciation for what this character had to endure. It really demonstrated the profound impact that bullying has on a person, and we see people going through this every single day of their life. I never really had an easy high school experience. I had a very difficult upbringing in high school. I was always pushed into lockers. I was always tripped up. I was always made fun of, called names. So I know what many of you probably have to endure every day during your high school experience. High school never comes easy to everybody, but you know something? You should never let anybody hold you back from how they may feel about you, from achieving your dreams or setting goals for yourself. Because when you set a goal for yourself, which your dream starts with, when you finally realize that dream, there is no greater appreciation that you will get or you will ever receive or have the chance to ever experience again in your lifetime. When a dream finally happens for you, it is such a rewarding experience. Kind of like how your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars had their dreams fulfilled to become a part of this franchise and go on to hold a very special place in each and every one of our hearts. I honestly have felt like I've been a part of these franchises for forever, and it's something that I've held close to my heart for forever and always, and I will continue to hold close to my heart for a very long time. I've had the honor of meeting so many incredible fans, hearing their perspective and their stories about how they became fans of Descendants of Zombies, and I like to believe that somewhere, somehow, that magic is real, and I had the opportunity to contribute a lot of magic to this franchise and make these stars stronger and feel more inspired about, everything they offered to this franchise, because Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker are two people who I can never seem to say enough nice things about. Their friendship, how they represented it, how they felt very passionate about it, how they were there for each other every step of the way. There's just something about this trio, Kylie and Malia and Ruby, that I can never seem to get enough of. And, as annoying as this may be to some boyfriends they may have or, guy friends they have, I've really found time in appreciating these friendships. And you know something? If I knew Kylie Cantrell on a personal level, I would encourage this so much. I would encourage this more than any guy in Kylie Cantrell's life to support her friendships and to believe in her more than everybody has ever believed in her lifetime. Because I think we can never show enough appreciation to people like Kylie. And I think that, kindness really does go a long way in this world, and I've always wanted to put out a message of kindness in every video that I've ever had the honor of uploading and creating for every fan of Descendants of Zombies, because Descendants of Zombies fans have obviously felt very passionate about their favorite characters and their favorite moments that have made them fans of Descendants of Zombies, that have brought them to the moment where they realized they wanted to be a fan of Descendants of Zombies more than anything else in this lifetime, a fan of Freya Sky, who's getting stronger every day, and people are feeling more passionate about Freya as time goes on, because time is the most precious commodity, because time always runs out, and we never seem to know how much time we have. So I think these moments that we are sharing them with every fan of Descendants of Zombies likewise should be appreciated and should be celebrated. And all I've ever wanted is to be a part of these moments with each and every one of you. And because of you having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time, I got to share in that with each and every one of you. I got to experience it for how it was truly and forever and always meant to be experienced. And from my heart to yours, all I would simply like to say is thank you so much. Thank you for offering me so much incentive and, creative energy to create all these wonderful videos, relatable content for every fan of Descendants of Zombies. And it's something that I really look forward to. As the sun sets tonight, I will come back with my final thoughts and my final video on Descendants of Zombies and be so excited to share it with each and every one of you, because we can never have enough opportunities to share with people our thoughts on Kylie Cantrell, our thoughts on Freya Sky. And if you can say something nice and you can create a relatable video for everybody out there that succeeds in touching everybody's heart, that's what makes it so worth it, being a fan of Descendants of Zombies. I have loved living here on this island for forever. I'm surrounded by water. It's a beautiful ocean. It's a beautiful take on life. And it's beyond me why they've chosen British Columbia to shoot Descendants of Zombies. I'm expecting any day for them to come here and shoot the Descendants franchise on this island. And if they ever do, I will take myself up on the opportunity to direct and produce this thing for you guys, because I believe I have so much to offer to Descendants of Zombies, because simply put, this story is far from over, and if we could encourage anybody to believe in anything anything, it's that this story is far from over and that we still have a long way to go. And I've just loved having the opportunity to share with you my story and my insights and my predictions and my character breakdowns and my theories on Descendants of Zombies, because this story is far from over and we still have a long way to go. We are awaiting the dropping of an official teaser from Disney Plus. That has not been confirmed, but as it stands right now, it's looking like February 9th. 2026. I will have more info for you guys on that, so keep watching for more videos to drop about your favorite characters from the Descendants franchises, the franchises you grew up around, you've known for forever, and you felt special and a part of something special because of Descendants of Zombies and what it's offered. How much inspiration you've drawn from it should be appreciated by more YouTube creators, and I wish more YouTube creators could feel the same way that I have felt, which is very passionate about how each and every one of you have felt about Descendants of Zombies. And I got to share in something special and be a part of something special. I got to share in that with each and every one of you because of how passionate you felt about your stories, about how you became fans of Descendants of Zombies. With that having been said, thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time. Don't forget to subscribe because I would love for you to be a part of these conversations. Ring my bell for every video I will upload from here on out, because there will always be something new here. While I can't speak for every other YouTube creator, there will always be something new and innovative for every fan of Descendants of Zombies here on this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for making me a stronger person. Thank you so much for giving me so much incentive to believe in Descendants of Zombies and being as passionate as what you've been through the years about Descendants of Zombies. What an incredible decade it's been. A decade worth remembering and a decade worth celebrating and honoring because of each and every one of you. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time, and thank you so much for having watched this video.